Yes, yes. Woo! Way go. Sean Links there, like I said, another dope track. I've been talking about this album, The Man of Many Hats. Dope, dope, dope album. Yes, that track is called Tech Support. Yes, and like I said, on the line, I have the man B.A. Bad. Unfortunately, we haven't got Sypooda tonight. He was waylaid and cannot make the interview. But I have the man B.A. Bad in the house, who's worked with the likes of Really Him, Shahid Chappelle, and Bob Styles. Him and Sypooda have an album out together called Painted in Hunger. Like I said to the top of the show, welcome to the show, B.A. Bad. How you doing, man?
And thank you for having me. I'm doing all right. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but it's good to have you here now. Um, yeah, so first things first, I won't start with the album, I'll get to the album in a bit. You were connected with the Ground Level tour. How's that been going?
I'm going great. Shout out to Jay Skis and Chad from Pay Attention Media. They put that thing together, and it's been a blessing to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. When's is it over now, or when's the next date? What's next for?
The next date is next week. June 27th. We'll be in Houston, Texas, and yeah. And then after that, we got Philly, then Baltimore, and I think that's the end of the tour.
All right, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yes. So I wanna start at your when you started contributing to hip hop. Not when you started making, music to release, but when you started your kind of journey in hip hop. How did it start for you? Was it a solitary pursuit? You know what I mean, sort of writing poetry on your own and making it rhyme, or was it ciphering and banging on lunch tables?
Both. I've been in love with music since I can remember, and I say poetry probably like started me writing, but before I was writing, I was no, I probably started off writing first. Started off trying to write, me, writing a little poetry, and then when I was around 12 years old, my mom bought me some turntables. I thought I wanted to be a DJ, so I was trying to DJ, and but that was a little expensive because you got to buy records, needles break, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
So we didn't really have the money to afford that. So pen and pad was like the cheapest thing you can get, right? So
Mhm.
I just started in ciphers, lunch tables, battling,
Mm.
and that just led to me starting to record. Actually, quick story. So that's how I met Really Him.
Mhm.
Me and Really Him been knowing each other since we was like in like seventh, eighth grade, and
Right.
we because he used to rap, and I was really battle hungry. Like anybody that say they rap, what's up? And
Mm.
so they like he rap, so I'm like, let's battle. So we get to the lunch table, we battle. You know what I mean? I won, of course. and ever since then, me and bro was locked in. We've been locked in. We formed a group together, which turned into other groups, and then we just continue on our musical journey simultaneously until it led to him just saying, I'm gonna just fall back and just produce.
Mhm.
And we kept going. We still going to this day.
Cool. No, that's cool, man. It's good to have like someone sort of in alignment with you as well, kind of drives you on, man. I understand what you're saying. So, right. So, when did you kind of like make the decision that this is what you wanted to pursue? Was it just like all in, or was it kind of like, sort of on the side of something else?
It was all in.
Mm.
Like I knew.
Right.
Like I knew. Just knew what it was. Like even it's crazy. Even before I could rap, I knew I wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
Weird. You know what I mean? Like I remember being young and it's crazy. I remember the start. I remember people asking me what I wanted to be,
Mm.
and I wanted to say rapper, but I didn't want to say rapper because I didn't want to be like stereotyped, like, you know, all
Yeah.
black kids were rappers. So
Mm,
I was like, I don't know.
mm,
Like I was that for a long time until, you know, I actually started doing it. And it's like you have some people that think they have a talent or a passion and they just do it because they like doing it. I
okay.
love to do music, but what keeps me going is the people telling me that I'm good. The people telling me that I can ascend to whatever level I decide to do. So that was what pushed me more and more. The more people would ooh and ah in the ciphers, the more people that'd be like, "Yo, I really like your music," is
Mm,
what kept me going until I get to today, where you know fans DM me all the time. You know when
mm,
they're looking for music, you know whatever the case may be. It's really like I love it. It's a passion of mine. I would do it even if I wasn't releasing music.
mm.
But it's the people that get me to release music and really get me going. You know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand that, man. Yeah, I mean, it's been a joy for me. I mean, Sypooda, I've been following for a couple of years. But you're new to me, no disrespect intended, but you know what I mean. I hadn't really heard of you before, but I always love when I find a new artist and I get to go into their back catalogue. I've been down a BA bad rabbit hole this week since you agreed to talk to me, man. And it's been, you know, the Mike Tyson track and the Steve Austin track. I've
Yeah.
been banging them all week, man. So yeah, it's a pleasure when you find a new artist and you get to dig into their back catalogue and just, you know, seeing that they've been dope for years, man. So it really is a pleasure to talk to you. So when you as hip hop always been around you, um, you know, when you know what kind of music did you grow up with in your house when it wasn't really your choice as to what you were listening to? Like what did your parents play, that
R&B,
kind of thing? Yeah.
R&B, soul, gospel music. You know,
Mhm.
that's the music that my mom, my family, they're a little older,
Yeah.
so that's what they play, gospel or R&B, soul music.
Mm.
That's what I grew up listening to when they had control over the stereo.
Yeah.
And as far as hip hop, I got introduced to hip hop by just being outside, cars riding by,
Mm.
friends playing music, me watching TV, watching videos on
Yeah.
VH1 or MTV or BET,
Mm.
um, watching movies like Juice, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That's what made me want to DJ
Mm.
Juice. Um, Movies like even watching the old movies like Crush Groove and Beat Street and the Fat Boys and all that,
Yeah.
House Party with Kid and Play in them. Like
Mm.
all those movies played a part into, you know, was kind of opened my eyes to hip hop. You know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? And you know that's what like pushed me down, led me down the road. You know, stuff like that.
Mm. And when you did get to control the stereo and you started listening for yourself, which which artists for you were like at the forefront of the stuff? Because obviously I know you were like taking it all in, but who was at the forefront for you when you first got into it? Who was the MC or MCs that were like, yeah,
It
these guys are nice.
it was it was Puff Daddy and Mace.
Wow. Okay.
It was Puff Daddy and Mace. I mean, I remember being like around 97.
Mm.
I mean, I remember listening to Bone Thugs coming on the radio, but I didn't understand what they were saying. You know what I mean? And a
Mm.
lot of MCs, I heard them, but I really wasn't listening. It was more the vibe and the beat. Really
Yeah.
didn't get what they were actually saying. And then I don't know why Mason Diddy was it for me. Maybe it was the videos,
Mm.
them, you know, Rolexes and suits and dancing in the middle of the desert and having to shine
Yeah.
my eye. But
Mm.
also Mace, he had a slower rap style.
Mm.
So I could understand everything that he was saying.
Yeah.
And I remember they had they was coming out with bangers. Can't
Mm.
Nobody Hold Me Down,
Yeah.
More Money,
That
More Problems.
that whole Hype Williams era.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Benjamins. And
Mm.
so I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, I want, you know, these songs. I didn't know what album they was on. And my mom didn't know. So my mom she went to whichever store and told them what songs, and they gave her Mace CD, Harlem World. And I got that for Christmas. And that's the first album I like studied as far as rap goes. Like I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from there became like, from there, the door just opened. From Mace, I went to like Jay-Z. I got introduced to more. Prodigy was definitely somebody that like I looked up to, like really like fucked with heavy. Raekwon, AZ, Nas, Jadakiss and Locks. You know, just I started going down a rabbit hole, you know what I mean? And I was getting older too. So now I'm understanding music more. I'm looking at different styles and different flows, and just, just really like being immersed into what it is.
Yeah.
And I think, and another part of it that I want to mention is that the young kids don't do is I also went back too. Like I was also intrigued with the whole story of hip hop, like the Rakims, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Cool G Raps. I was intrigued by that whole thing. So I used to find myself like watching. Remember Behind the Music when they would do the life stories? I would like study them and like hang on the word of what they were doing. You know, Biggie. You know, Tupac too. You know what I mean? Because that same year, Biggie and Pac had died. Like Pac had died. September like 96. Big died literally 2 days after my sister had passed away.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I remember I was that young where I remember looking on the news and seeing Biggie and stuff like that. I mean, I remember when Tupac died, my mom was upset because she liked the Tupac, you know what I mean? So like those things like is etched in the back of my mind when it comes to like hip hop and my journey.
Yeah. And now we're in 2025. We are at Painted in Hunger. First things first, how did you and Sypooda get together?
Man, that's little bro. He actually discovered me. He found me. I have a song called Everybody Eats featuring Conway the Machine. And from what he told me was he was listening to music on Apple Music. That song came through on the algorithm. He was listening to it and was like, damn, who the fuck is this other dude? You know what I mean? And he looked me up, went down the rabbit hole, liked the music, liked I mean, and he reached out to me about producing, sending me beats. We started developing a little rapport, and then he asked me could he pull up on me. So he flew from Virginia out to Buffalo and my crib and stayed out here for about 3 days, I think. And that's our first time meeting up, and we just kind of like build a rapport from there. And then over the years, we just started crafting music, putting stuff together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. The fact that he flew from Virginia to actually check out someone who he just discovered on an algorithm. That's dedication, man. That's
Nah,
dedication. Hopefully,
little bro, like he's
yeah.
special. I speak his praises because you don't meet too many genuinely good people. And he's a genuinely good person, good vibes, good energy, very talented, very sound-minded, but also open-minded to take criticism and to take guidance. You know what I mean? I'm older than him. So, we developed a big bro, little bro relationship over time. You know what I mean? And I really respect him a lot. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
I was about to say, no one's going to fly from Virginia to Buffalo and not be fully committed. You know what I mean? So,
No,
yeah, no, that's cool, man. So when you finally got to the idea of doing Painted in Hunger, um, was it? Were you just doing beats and then you thought, just put them out, or was it always the idea to do the album?
Yeah. So it was at first it started off just me picking beats and me, doing whatever, sending them back. And then we was like, yo, we should do a project. You know what I mean? And then we went through a couple different names over time, but it was the vein of we wanted to do a project, and the most important thing we wanted to do was um showcase our talent.
Mm.
We are in the underground lane right now, boom bap lane. Everything is like really grimy, dark. You know what I mean? That's kind of the direction that everybody's pursuing.
Yeah.
And I let him hear music that I used to do years ago, where I'm an artist. I can rap about anything and I make songs. So, and we wanted to kind of get off on different vibes. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to show the world that like we're not just in this box. I can give you the girl record. I could talk about family. I could talk about, whatever I want to talk about. And on top of that, um, in the process of us creating, I was kind of going through a transitional phase in regards to I think I was going through a little depression phase where I just really didn't care about the music. I had lost my grandmother in 2021, I believe. And it was right around the time we had met. So I just kind of just didn't really have the energy to like release any music. I
Mm.
was a new father. My daughter was just born a year prior. And
Mm.
so when it came to creating the music, um, I just wanted to make something that was for an adult. You know what I'm saying? To be grown. That's why on the
Mm.
album I talk about having a daughter. I talk about fatherhood. I talk about my family. I talk about, what it is to be a black man in America, a black man in the world. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it was just that whole thing of like, yo, like I want to kind of grow. I want my music to grow with me. And then once we kind of like started building and building and building and building, like we'd do a song and I'd be like, okay, I kind of want to go a different lane. I want to go a little soulful. Boom,
Mm.
we'd go that way. And then we want to do this. And then we just started stacking and stacking until we was like, yo, okay, I think we got something special.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then that's how we came about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel what you're saying, man. Like before I started doing this show, I think I was in the same position of you, man. I think there was a bit of depression in there. Um, I've always been, I've always wanted to be around the music sphere. Never been able to, you know, actually do music too seriously. I've been in bands and stuff. I'm a fan of all kinds of music. So I used to be in a heavy metal band at one point, and I've done some raps and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And then it got to the point where I wasn't doing anything, and I think the fact that I wasn't doing anything, added to the depression. And I've got I've got kids and I'm married as well. Do you know what I mean? So all you're doing is going to work and coming home, and you got no
yeah,
outlet.
yep,
You know what I
yep,
mean? And I think that
yep,
so
yep, yep,
me starting
yep.
to do this show has definitely helped me come out of that, and you know what I mean, like be a happier person. So I understand exactly what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask about the album cover because it's not a normal album cover, man. For everyone listening out there, the album cover, it's like it's like a like one of them not abstract, one of the like it's a painting of a room basically, kind of off kilter a bit, and then slap bang in the middle is a demon or the devil. Um, Who came up with the design of the album cover, man? Because it is striking when you look at it.
Yeah, that was by Rod Duke.
Okay.
He's done many covers for Griselda, many different artists. Like he's a dope graphic designer, both
Mm.
artists, period. And yeah, I think it just represents from what I got from the picture, from the artwork was the room. It's nothing really in the room. It's calmness. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But there's still that presence that's lurking.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? And so it's like and that right there just it's just dope art. Like when I
Mm.
go for album covers, I want something that somebody can hang on their wall.
Yeah.
That's that's the type of art I want because I need the art to reflect the music. If I want the
Mm.
music to be the best, I need the art to be the best that I can get it.
Mm.
And so that's why we went with that cover. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely worked with that. Like I said, I went down a little rabbit hole. So you did kind of some of the stuff that other people are doing, where you've got like pictures of famous people, and you've got like the black stripe across their eye, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they are striking images. But when I saw the cover for Painted in Hunger, I was like, this is different from a lot of other stuff I've seen. It really struck me. I really dig it. The name as well. Where does the name of the album come from?
Just Painted in Hunger comes from, well, painting, art. You know what I'm saying? Feel like this is our art. This is our art form right here. You know what I mean? When I'm rapping, he's producing, we're painting a picture. One of our first songs that we were able to create was Picture Perfect.
Yeah.
That's on the project. And so I believe that this project is showing our hunger, how hungry we are in regards of creating and wanting to make a name for ourselves as artists and producers and likewise, you know what I mean? So that's why the name came about. Like I said, we went through a couple different other names as we were creating the project, but that basically, it got to a point where I'm like, nothing feels good enough. And me and him got it. Me, him, and my guy Puzzle. Shout out to Puzzle. Puzzle, he's a part of the Diggers. They have a film photography company, whatever. And Puzzle, he also does a lot of A&R work with me and my projects, artistic direction and whatnot. Through producing, executive producing projects with really him and so on and so forth. And we sat on the phone and we talked about, the direction of the project, like trying to come up with an idea of what we were going to name it. So it was like direction, how we felt about it, what did we want to get across, and we just started shooting out things. And one of the things was we wanted the world to know this is our artwork. And then we also felt like we were hungry, like we want to get the ball rolling because I hadn't released no music probably like 3 years. You know what I mean? I haven't released anything, and it's like I'm hungry. I'm back. Like I want people to know, like I'm putting my foot down. And even if I am a new artist to a lot of people, I'm just as good as the top artists. You know what I mean? So when you hear this, I want you to be like, you know what I mean? I want my songs to be on your playlist next to your Kendricks, next to your J. Cole's, next to your Benny the Butchers, because I can go with them. You know what I mean? Like I'm on their level. So.
All right, man, that's cool. And talking of names, how did you come up with your name? And did you have any names before you settled on B.A. Bad?
Yeah, so growing up, in my neighborhood, they called me Bad Boy. That was my name. And then as I got older, people would stop saying the Bad Boy. They'd kind of say BA, like badass. And then I just was using those names. That's the names I was just using as the rap, you know what I mean? And then once I wanted to go serious with it, you know what I mean? Like getting things copywritten, ASCAP and all that. I was like, I need to pick a name that don't nobody else have. Bad Boy was already taken. I seen there was another artist named BA. And so I wanted to go by a name that not only the people that surround me and that know of me in my cities are familiar with, but something that nobody else has. So I just took the BA, and I used to say bad at the end of my verses a lot. So I just put the bad on the back of that and just pushed it like that.
All right, man. So I want to get into the EBE thing. Everybody Eats. What was the genesis of that, and how did you sort of realize that vision?
I actually came up with the title when I was in jail. Me and my bro, we was talking about we wanted to start a promotional company, throw parties and things of that nature, and amongst our friend group that we already had, put our money together. And I was thinking of a name, and I felt like Everybody Eats fit us because we always was. That's how we is with each other. Like if I got something, you got it. You know what I mean? And if I got 2 chains on and we about to go out, I got 1 chain, you got 1 chain. And so that's how it started. And then it just morphed into what it became, EBE lifestyle, which means Everybody Eats is a lifestyle. It's a way of thought. You know what I mean? School of thought. So it's about community. It's about I want for you, but I want for me. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to get behind, something that was positive, and so I named my company that and start pushing that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. I like that. So, like, have you been able to sort of check out the reaction to Painted in Hunger?
A little bit. I haven't really got too much feedback. I mean, I see a little bit online.
Yeah.
Uh, I've done a few interviews and people have told me they really enjoyed the project. I've
Mm,
seen a few different um I've seen a few reviews
mm,
that came back that said it was it was really dope.
mm.
So, I'm excited about that. And
Yeah, I
and I
mean,
also a lot of people didn't get it yet because it's only on Bandcamp right now.
yeah,
It will be on streaming next Friday, and I know that's almost like a second release where more people are going to start discovering it and coming back to me and
yeah, that's
saying,
dope, man. Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I managed to get I managed to get it early, so I've been sitting on it for a while. And for me, like I said, it's one of them albums where when you listen through it the first time, like I played Heart on My Sleeve on my show a couple of weeks ago,
okay,
and that was my track. Like the first few times I listened to it, Heart on My Sleeve was my track, and then it was 100.
mm,
And now it's the track that I'm going to play after we finish speaking. I'm going to play DTA. That's the track that I'm banging DTA at the minute, man. I love that track. So it's a mark of a good album. I've said it before for other albums, but it's a mark of a good album when you listen to it, and the more you listen to it, the more tracks kind of like come through and sort of become the best one, and then another track becomes the best one,
yeah,
and another track becomes the best one. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one track's the best one every time you listen to it. Do you know what I mean? That's the mark of a good album. Do you know what I mean? So I've really been enjoying it, man. That's why,
thank
like
you,
I said,
thank you.
that's why it's a pleasure to talk to you. So what what else is coming up for BA Bad?
Well, we finished the tour July 12th.
Hmm.
And then I got another project coming up. Probably going to drop maybe around September.
Hmm.
And that's called Top of the Food Chain. And I
Okay.
got some special features on there.
Hmm.
That project is crazy. If you like this project, you're gonna love that project as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then I might drop again after that, maybe around the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? I got a
Mm.
project that's fully produced by this producer out of Jersey named Revenant.
Okay.
Dope producer. We have a project that we have that's 98% done.
Mm.
And then I got some things lined up. I got some things
Mhm.
lined up. So, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm
I mean,
excited. And I
especially
wanted
in
to
this day
add
and
this,
age. Sorry, carry on.
agree with you about the project, about how different songs become your favorite, because that's exactly how me and Sypooda feel.
Mm.
One minute we really love this one song, and like next minute it's like, nah, but I think this one is better now. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like a couple songs Sypooda told me like he didn't like at first, or he didn't like the beat. Like he's like Heart on My Sleeve. He
Mm.
wasn't too fond of it when he first heard it.
Mm.
Now he like, yo, bro, that's my shit. That's a bop. I'm like, I told you, bro. I
Mm.
told you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
So
it's like that though. I mean, it must be hard for a producer because when you when you've done a track, you get to a certain point with it, and it's like you're a producer, so there's always something you can add. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you don't want to overproduce it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
there has to come a line where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna cut it there. I don't feel like anything else that I do to it is just gonna spoil it, so I've got to leave it there. It must be so hard to kind of like find that line when you're creating stuff, man. So yeah, I think that's the reason because you know what I mean. Like you say, something that he didn't like that he did on one track, but then when he listens to it a few times, like, oh no, that works, man. I see why I
yeah.
did that now. So
It's the
so
same thing with together.
yeah.
You know how many times we were like, we need one more song.
Mm.
Okay, we do the next song, and
Yeah.
then next thing you know, we're like, oh man, well, you think we should take that off and put this on? Then I do another joint. And it's like, like it's like, when do we stop and say the project is finished? You know what I mean? And then at this time, it got to a point where I'm like, bro, we got to drop it. Like we if we keep going, it's gonna be another year before we release the project, because we're gonna keep let's start working on our next project and just put all the new songs on part 2 and just release this to the people and see what they say. So I know how.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this day and age, people expect you to be prolific. Do you have any thoughts about that? I mean, obviously, like back in the day, it used to be a lot different. It was like, you could drop an album every 2 years and it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you have to drop stuff all the time, or do you like to, take a gap in between and build anticipation?
I think that I think for every artist is different.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You have some artists like Lil Wayne that one time used to be dropping like this.
Yeah.
But then you have an artist that's like Kendrick, who's a throwback artist who drops every few years.
Yeah.
And I think I'm an artist like that. I think even though I'm dropping consistently this year and next year, and I'm trying to stay ahead of the race, because I understand what times we are in, and I don't have that leverage to sit back and wait a year, 2 years to drop a project. But if we're going to get the music, if one of the things we're lacking today in music is like music that's like sustains over time. We don't really get too many classics. And I think the reason why we don't get too many classics is because the music is microwavable. You get those classic albums when somebody has went through something, they're able to process it and then put it into the art form. And so if I just keep curating the same song over and over again, I can give you 10 albums, but how great is those albums going to be? But if I take 2 years off and I go and I get a relationship, I break up, I have a child, she grows up, I go through whatever I go through, now I can give you those songs that really sit with you when you're really going through something, you're driving to work or you're film. I can give you those real that you know what I mean? Like,
I get you, man. Yeah. All right, man. So you've shouted out a few people in this interview. Just before I ask you, I just got to give a big shout out to Jerry Graham, man. He's the guy that introduced me to you and sent me the album, so I appreciate him for that. Shout out to Sypooda as well. It's a shame that you couldn't make it, man. But you've shouted out a few people. Is there anyone else that you want to shout out?
Shout out my guy Prophet. I'm saying he's on the project as well. He's also on my next project. I want to shout out my man Graph-Wise out in Canada, doing this thing. Longtime collaborator with me. He's a producer as well. Him again. My man Puzzle really, he's the missing piece. Like, bro, really like brings a lot of shit together. He doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does because he's behind the scenes. He's like a shadow, but he's the guy that I call to when I'm like, what you think about this? He's the one that's going to tell me, yeah, do that verse over. I don't like it. That beat is trash. Like, he's going to tell me the truth to get me to, step my shit up. So those typically are my guys that I rock with heavy. And, my daughter, shout out to my baby. She's my motivation, my inspiration.
Yeah, man. That's cool, man. All right. So just before we go, can you just tell everyone your socials and where they can find you and your music?
You can find me at BA bad _ EBE. And it's the same on Twitter, Instagram. Find me on Facebook. Find me on TikTok, whatever. That's what you can put in. You can also, if you're looking for any merch, tickets to the shows, if you want to really support me and go get the project, go to my website, which is ebelifestyle.com. It has all my music on there. It has my videos, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, sweatshirts. Support the movement, you know what I mean? And, tap in.
That's cool, man. Like I said, like I was saying earlier, man, it is great when you find an artist that you've not heard of before, and then you find out that they got a deep back catalogue that you can sort of go into and disappear down a rabbit hole, like I said, man. And I've had a really good time for this, this week and a half, discovering you and what you're about and what you've been about, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you, man. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Apologies again for the connection issues. But it's good to have you along, man. And again, thank you for your time. Be a bad. And I will
Thank
speak to you again soon, I hope, man. All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah, let me
All
know
right.
when that next project's coming, man. Let me know and I'll definitely
Oh,
dial into that, man. I'm waiting for more.
definitely tap in with you for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, bro. Thank you very
All
much,
right.
man.
Thank
Peace,
you.
peace.
Peace.